Hello, we're at the Banijay Arts Centre for the show that upgrades your navy blues to ultramarines, gives you titanium white highlights and turns your ivory black and yellow ochre into pure TV gold. Welcome back, it's Portrait Artist of the Year. Competing in today's heat are 6 professional artists. Alvin Kofi Ferris, Michelle Goldman, Sam Claydon, Nick Grove, Yasmin Gilani and Vicky Somares.
The challenge of getting a good painting done in 4 hours is always quite nail-biting, but I feel quite confident. I shouldn't have said that.
And 3 amateurs, Chris Longridge, Dilip Seshan and Sarah Tier.
I think 4 out of 5 times what I paint is, I like it, but 1 out of 5 times I'm like, oh my God, I need to burn it. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
With just 4 hours to complete their work,
you put on a stroke and then you lose it and then it comes back, and I don't think I have enough drama.
they'll need to keep their composure.
I think I'm just looking calm, but I'm not. I'm screaming inside.
And draw on their skills to impress our judges.
You've gone for the ultimate danger, the open mouth.
I know.
And
please,
teeth.
Please pray for me.
And all for the chance to win a £10,000 commission to paint the iconic ballet dancer Carlos Acosta for the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery. So as the pressure builds...
I had a quick look around and, yeah, it's quite intimidating.
Who will reach the semi-final?
You competitive?
Maybe a little bit,
Okay.
yeah.
You're not going to smash the room up if you don't make it through, are you?
I have got that in me,
Okay.
I think.
All right, we'll look out for that.
Okay.
As the paint and the palettes come out, the judges review the artists' submissions. Good morning. We have a wall, 9 artists that you've chosen. The first one, a bit of back-to-front art.
We're used to our artists showing us the tools of the trade with their brushes, but not actually sort of giving us it in words as well.
It's like he's trying to work out, am I an artist, am I not an artist? At the same time, the graphic neatness creates a sort of tension between what it's like to be a painter, to be in control, but also out of control.
This feels at once like a formal, studied self-portrait, and then it's got all of these strange devices. It's almost as if she has sort of walked into an abstract painting and disrupted it somehow.
Next up, a man in deep thought.
I mean, it's a really kind of bravura piece of painting.
Yeah, and those cultural references that make him almost Janus-headed with the 2 heads. You know, which world do I belong to?
The next one.
I love it because of its size, but also its heroicness.
Yeah. Even the way the face mask is put on really convincingly with the right contour and the right shadow. I can almost feel my skin tightening as I look at it.
When is this? Is it an homage?
I mean, it's sort of loaded with art historical references.
The sheen on that cravat is just gorgeous.
What I think interesting about this painting is the way the dark side of the face seems to disintegrate into the background.
Other paintings here have a narrative, they tell you a story, but this is all about the capturing of this head for me.
I really respond to this next one, that protective arm around a child, or perhaps just making sure you know where they are. They aren't out there causing havoc.
It's a beautiful composition to create a dynamic where your eye is led in through the first child's legs and it leads right through. I think it's just very well composed.
I see a man looking at those grapes and thinking, why aren't you wine yet?
I love the way in which sections of it are fragmented.
Yeah.
It's super clever.
The next one.
I like its artificiality. I feel there is a communication, so although it's a very alien style, there is still the sense of a real person there, and that's kind of interesting.
Well, that's a wall bursting with personality. We've got 3 strong personalities coming in. Can't wait to see how the 2 collide. With canvases and artists primed for the day ahead, it's time to introduce the sitters. Artists, your sitter today is not afraid to lay down the law. When he's not writing or presenting documentaries, he presides over a TV courtroom, drawing on his years of experience as a criminal barrister. Let's hope your portraits stand up to his rigorous cross-examination today. Please welcome Robert Rinder.
Now, where do you want me? I mean, I could do a number of poses, none of them which are appropriate.
So what are you after today, Robert? Something flattering?
Well, yeah, I could be a bit like sort of Henry VIII, I suppose. There is a sort of judicial part of me that thinks, you know, it will end in violence if I look hideous. But then, of course, I am confronted by reality, which is what I look like, really. So
you're a good-looking man. What are you talking about?
Let's not go mad.
Well, I will leave you in the capable hands of your artist. He's all yours.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Fantastic.
Do whatever you want. Go wherever the inspiration takes you.
Artists, your sitter today is a best-selling international author, model and television presenter, whose documentary, Katie, My Beautiful Face, earned her a BAFTA nomination. She's since founded a charity, launched a podcast, and even danced the Paso Doble on Strictly. Please welcome Katie Piper.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, thank you. Wow.
This is your home for the day.
Really? Wow, I feel really on display and exposed.
Are you a fidget? Are you going to be able to sit still?
I find it hard. I've tried to meditate in the past and it wasn't possible, so this will be a good practice for me.
Why couldn't you meditate? What happened?
Because I just start thinking about to-do lists.
Well, you've got 4 hours to work out your to-do list today.
Yeah, that's good. That's handy.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a to-do list.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Well, I will leave you in the hands of your artists.
OK, hello. Hi, nice to meet you all. Will this be my position?
That's good for me.
Fine with me.
So I'm blind in my left eye. You have the duff spot, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
If you guys are happy, I'm happy, yeah.
Artists, your sitter today is a Grammy Award-winning filmmaker, musician and DJ who turned a generation of punks onto reggae. As well as founding 80s band Big Audio Dynamite, he's directed over 300 music videos, working with everyone from Bob Marley to The Clash. Please welcome Don Letts.
Hi. All right.
Hello, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Good. Hi.
Hiya. So, Don, how are you feeling about sitting still for 4 hours and being stared at?
Somewhat daunting, but now I know I can speak, that helps a bit.
Oh, you can speak,
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, I will leave you in the capable hands of your artists.
Glasses or no glasses?
Glass.
I quite like the glasses.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I was going to reveal myself for you.
Oh, okay. No, well, let's have a look. Actually, yeah.
However you feel comfortable.
OK, I'm good to go.
Artists, it's time to turn those nerves into creative energy. You have 4 hours to complete your portraits. Your time starts now. A blank canvas can be intimidating, and artists often deal with that by getting some initial marks down as quickly as possible. But some prefer to take their time.
This stage is crucial. I don't want to get to a point where I realised I've made an error and start going backwards. I just want this painting to go right from beginning to end, because that's the best type of painting.
Nick Grove's self-portrait is a nod to his artistic hero, John Singer Sargent. Despite graduating in fine art, he became a wedding photographer, but recently gave that up to paint full-time.
Nick, a lot of thinking going on before you attack the canvas. Can you tell me a bit what's going through your head?
I had intended to do like a head and shoulders.
No.
but I really like the way she's sitting. My ground matches the floor there lovely, which I do like to leave the ground a bit. Have I got enough time to do that? Maybe it would be safer to do Head and Shoulders. It's all good. I want to make the right decision now, and then I will attack the canvas, hopefully in 4 hours or under.
Or under?
Well,
That's gonna be, no. But
I find I sometimes take it too far, you know, so if I'm happy with it at a certain point, I'm just going to stop.
Well, look, I really want to see your first mark, so I'll let you get on with it.
Kofi, I really like this board that you're using and the way that the paint's going on. Obviously, it's quite greedy, probably, this board, sucking up the paint. Why do you use the wooden board?
I like the organicness of natural wood instead of canvas, and there's no give, so you can really kind of be quite robust on that surface.
I love the way that the grain's coming through now with this wash.
Alvin Ferris likes to be known as Kofi, a Ghanaian name given to boys born on Friday. His self-portrait draws from this heritage and shows two deities, symbolising creation and creativity.
Tell me about your submission. I loved that there was so much going on.
The African tradition is kind of part of my heritage, so that's always kind of present in your mind every day, and how you go about your life.
It's a very good-looking start, but of course I know it's going to get much more built up.
Yes.
And so, what's your approach today?
I enjoy painting, so what I'm going to be doing today is kind of dipping in and out. I'm going to be using actually pencils.
Why the pencils?
I can't seem to separate the two, so it tends to always come through into the painting.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a good day.
Yeah, and that's the plan.
I started with a quick sketch to get my bearings. I have to take time in trying to make sure I get the positioning right of the eyes and the nose and how everything fits together.
Yasmin Gilani is an English literature graduate with a drama MA from RADA, and she's now studying art therapy. The judges liked the porcelain tones of her self-portrait, but today's painting is looking rather different. Yasmin, wow! What colour is that?
That's a fluorescent red.
Tell me why the vivid background.
I work on a primed canvas because I use a lot of whites and a lot of pastel tones in my work. So that red pushes through all the white and you end up looking a little bit more alive.
I mean, at the moment, and I know it's a long way to go, but he looks slightly like a cyborg that's about to inflict some pain on humankind.
Yeah, it's possible.
Is that...
It's possible. Yeah.
Have you been chatting much?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
I'm nervous of interrupting your thoughts. Now, I think perhaps I should.
How are you doing, Robert?
Well, Dilip, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Can't tell you how difficult it is just to sit here.
Because it's not our human nature to just sit still, you know. So you're doing great.
Dilip Seshan has worked in IT since moving to England from South India 20 years ago. He recently took up art classes and uses technology to help develop his technique.
Dilip, what is that I'm looking at?
Oh, it's the app that puts a grayscale filter on it. I'm a IT professional.
Ah, so you're basically reducing Robert to his logical elements.
Yes.
And how do you feel about reduced in such a logical way?
I know, the problem is that sounds like troubling algebra, you know.
He's a computer programmer. He knows what he's doing.
Ah.
You've gone for the ultimate danger, the open mouth.
I know.
And
Please,
teeth.
Please pray for me.
I'm going to pray for you.
I want to give something that is cheery and vibrant.
Anyway, I better let you concentrate on those. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
As the artists settle in, some get more absorbed with their portraits, while others build up a rapport with their sitter.
You're a Londoner, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Brixton.
You still have a lot of interaction with Brixton?
Only when I'm DJing.
Wicked.
However they work, the artists have just 3 hours left.
I've got a little bit more to go before I feel happy, but I think I'm doing okay. I'm just going to tell myself I'm doing okay.
bricking myself a bit. I think the biggest thing is to not think about what others are doing.
I really need to work out what it is that isn't quite right and just make those marks. Best case scenario, well, that Katie likes it, the judges like it, and I go through to the next round.
Here at Battersea Arts Centre, 9 artists have been creating portraits of Don Letts, Katie Piper and Robert Rinder. We're an hour in already, so the artists have just 3 hours left to finish their work. So Vicky, you are powering ahead. Is this the way you normally work, or have you got somewhere you need to be?
No, I usually work really quickly anyway, and I'm actually being a little bit more deliberate.
Oh, so this is you slowed down?
Yeah, because I like doing this wet on wet paint, but there is always the problem that you can get mud if you mesh it all up. And
How do you stop it becoming muddy?
You have to put them next to each other, not on top of each other.
It sounds like a fairly high-risk technique. Is that fair?
As long as it all goes okay and everything's in the right place, I'll be all right.
Great. Vicky Somares is a part-time art teacher and took 8 hours to create her self-portrait. She was formally trained at Cecil Graves Studio in Florence, but these days she enjoys blending elements of abstraction with her traditional technique. The background is getting tackled as well.
Yeah, I've been experimenting for a while with bringing sort of part of it into the person and part of the person into the background as well.
OK. Well, I think you made a fabulous start on Robert.
Not quite there yet. Once I get the white collar in, I think against the light here, we'll pull him forward a little bit, bang in those highlights, and it should work.
Pull him forward and bang in the highlights.
Yes.
I can't wait to see all that.
Sarah, you're capturing a real jewel there. You're focusing on the details. I can see you've gone right into the eyes.
Yeah.
Do you always start with the eyes?
Yeah. I started doing it because I got to the end of so many paintings and hated the eyes that I was like, I'm just going to do them first from now on so I can make sure they're good.
Sarah Tier is an amateur artist from London and works in a pottery cafe where she teaches children to paint ceramics. She's completely self-taught and has only ever painted from photographs.
I can see you doing measuring up against the tablet, against the drawing. I mean, will you at any point measure up against Kate?
Yeah, I kind of want to get the eyes, the nose and the mouth specifically in here, and then I think I'm going to go to her for more of like the shape of the face.
Well, it's already packing a punch. Well done.
I think I've put the eyes too low, so I need to push them up a little bit. I've gone in with a lot of paint very early on and just put the shapes down, and now I'm just kind of pushing and pulling things, but trying to keep the kind of freshness. Kind of happy to just have something resembling a human face at this stage.
Sam Claydon is a former journalist from London who switched career 2 years ago to take up painting at London Fine Art Studios, where he went from student to teacher in 18 months. His submission took just 90 minutes. Sam, you're quite balletic, the way you sort of dance in and out from the canvas.
Yeah, I don't really know that I'm doing it, to be honest, but yeah, I think it's just kind of...
Just an outward manifestation of you're in a...
Yeah.
The storm in your head.
Exactly.
How's it going today? Looks great.
Thanks. I think it looked better about half an hour ago.
Oh, OK.
But yeah. So I think knowing when to stop is a big problem, and also just been trying to wrestle with what to do with the background, so just trying to take what I want from it, and yeah, I think it was better before I added
That's not
stuff.
what we want to hear, Sam. Well, I'm loving what you're doing.
Cool.
Look forward to seeing it finished.
Cheers, if it finishes.
If it ever finishes.
Yeah.
Kate, the backgrounds today, a lot going on.
Yeah, we've gone for pattern. We're really interested in the way that in art history, artists have used patterns behind the sitter to enhance them, to make them project forward. You think of someone like Van Gogh, he loved all that swirling motion behind his self-portraits particularly, or Matisse, who was interested in wallpaper and domestic things. Klimt, with all those extraordinary kind of symbolic, rich backgrounds, which say so much about Klimt's paintings. They're almost as much about the backgrounds as they are about the person.
Robert's a very lively sitter.
I think this is a perfect background for him because it's sort of fizzing with energy, it's majestic.
I think he'll be happy with fizzing with energy and majestic.
He can have them.
I'm having the most delightful time. It's like being sort of immersed in other people's talent. It's what I am in life anyway, sort of upmarket window dressing. Heaven.
I'm not sure whether this background is relaxing or panic attack inducing.
It does sort of fight a little bit with Katie's shirt, but then she's also this sort of ocean of calm in the middle of all this swirliness.
And Katie was very open about how nervous she was at the beginning. And I think that vulnerability helped to establish a rapport with the artists.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We need our artists to sort of keep connected to their sitter, to keep their sitter animated as well.
This is like nothing I've ever done before because I've realised I don't really sit still and get to sort of let go and not be in control all the time. So it's quite a nice experience and I feel quite still and in the moment.
There's an intensity to Don as a sitter, isn't there?
He's giving good pose, and what happens is the artist picks up on it, and something magical happens. The painting is energized, and there's life in it, and I think you can see in this section that they certainly have been energized.
Well, these artists have got a unique opportunity because I'm not wearing my glasses, which is very rare for me. And this is about as naked as I can get. But that's not to say that they couldn't reveal something more.
How's it going, Chris?
I think it's going all right so far.
It's weird because I've got no kind of preconception of what to expect.
Well, I hope you're not disappointed.
I'm nervous, actually. Yeah.
So am I.
Chris Longridge made it to the semi-final of the last series of Portrait Artist of the Year. After abandoning his ambitious attempt to tackle the whole set behind Elaine Page, he started a new painting, then went back to his first. Still keen to take risks in order to improve, he has switched from his trusty acrylics to a new medium.
Chris, we meet again. How long have you been painting in oils then?
About 6 months.
Why the switch?
Because I always felt that oil paints were like for grown-up artists, and I
They
wasn't
are.
ready. Yeah, and I wasn't ready for them. And I thought, well, you know, I'm 47 now. When am I going to be old enough to actually engage with them? But I enjoy them more than I did acrylics.
I mean, you've chosen a very nice picture. You've got it on your tablet where her head is slightly tilted.
Yes.
Tell me what you're looking for in this.
It's about their expression. That's where that comes in, I think. There's this gaze. It's not gazing into space, but it's a sort of inward, outward at the same time look that I'm trying to capture.
It's kind of intriguing seeing a new oil painter. I'm sure it's going to be fun.
Thanks very much.
So, Michelle, how are you finding it?
I'm finding it hard because I'm a slow painter, but it's a lovely challenge.
What's next?
Where to start? I think the eyes and the mouth, bring those out a bit and then sort out that background a little bit. Yeah, quite a lot.
Fine art graduate Michelle Goldman lives with her family in Westcliff-on-Sea. A part-time art teacher, her self-portrait references the challenge of juggling motherhood with work as a professional artist. Michelle, I related to your self-portrait so much, with a grip on your two kids. Part like loving, part like just stay where you are, everybody.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I love you so much.
Yeah. You couldn't have a different subject today, really.
No, this is wonderful, yeah.
You competitive?
Well, maybe a little bit,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Quietly.
You're not going to smash the room up if you don't make it through or anything?
I have got that in me,
Okay.
I think.
All right, we'll
yeah.
look out for that.
Okay.
The artists have been painting for almost 2 hours.
I don't think I have enough drama. There's a lot of drama in terms of the light, how it hits Don. I need to get that drama and mood in.
I'm reaching a tricky point. I've knocked back the big black swirl, and then now I'm pulling out with some stronger colours on the face so that the face comes forward and the background goes back.
The background just needs lots of work. I was kind of just throwing some paint down. I think I'm just looking calm, but I'm not. I'm screaming inside.
I think this morning's nerves have died down now, and I do feel a little bit more in my stride, but that could all change in a few brush strokes.
Here at Battersea Arts Centre, Don Letts, Katie Piper and Robert Rinder have been doing their best to maintain their pose for 2 hours.
Robert? Oh, sorry. It's all right. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
So we're halfway through. We've got 3 great sitters, 9 fascinating artists and some incredible backgrounds today.
Yeah. My worry about today is that there's a few things this morning that I fell in love with quite quickly. They look good early on. I was hoping that they kind of stay good all day long.
Katie's been painted by Chris, Sarah and Nick. Chris is clearly a skilled painter.
The likeness is there. My only issue now is as the background colour comes in, it is quite a strong thing to build into a painting. So I'm kind of interested whether Katie will survive that.
He wanted to capture certain elements, that serenity, that peacefulness, and he's found it in the eyes. But Sarah, she's focusing on the eye. She's sort of locked into the object itself, engaging only with the technology mainly.
Because she just needs to fill that canvas. Other artists have the benefit, like Sam on the other side, of doing something so loose and so lovely that it almost feels like a painting 10 minutes in.
I must say I'm in 2 minds about Sam's Don. It's a bravura piece of painting, but it's so steeped in art history. And Don's a very contemporary sort of guy.
Michelle is giving us quite an angular Don.
She's sort of really got in there. And I think what also works really well, she's used the angularity of the backdrop to almost add to that sense of mood or spirit that Don has.
Kofi has such a calm, gentle manner, and I'm loving the way his portrait is emerging in a calm, gentle way from that board.
I think Kofi's interesting. I think the likeness is just slightly off, but there's probably a lot he can do to tighten that up.
Don is larger than life, and you get a sense that you're having a personal conversation with him. He's right up close.
Robert's been painted by Yasmin, Dilip and Vicky.
Dilip's painting Robert open-mouthed and smiling, so we're going to get teeth, which is like super dangerous because it can often be done really, really badly.
Yeah, I mean, I think so far Dilip's work's got a charm to it. There's a kind of charming quality to be that smiley, and you could do that of anyone. Maybe you do it for Robert, who is really smiley.
How are you doing, Robert?
I've entered a sort of meditative state, Dilip.
I can see the zen.
Oh, thank you. What I love about Dilip is his clear passion and enthusiasm. And then, of course, Vicky. She's completely imbued with a sense of cheer and delight. Stephen said that Yasmin was painting me as a cyborg. I've always thought that I'd have a certain android quality, sort of camp computer.
The process has been very interesting. I'm a filmmaker, so the toughest thing for me really has been sitting still for 4 hours. I haven't done too well at that.
I think with Chris, he seemed very kind of deep in his thought. Nick seemed very considered. When I looked at him, I felt kind of slow and relaxed. So with Sarah, she does seem very in the zone. I don't know what to expect. I can't predict it.
Sarah, you've caught her eyes so beautifully. And now you're working your way out.
Yeah.
So what about the background colour? Some artists find that that's quite handy to have there and have it as a kind of reference point for the face.
I feel like I've just never done that. I think mainly because whenever I paint the background first, I accidentally stick my hand in it, and then that annoys me.
I think the background's quite in your face, so just trying to decide on what's important and what I should focus on, if it's like the bigger picture or details. Just keep pushing on, really.
Marvin, your thinking, it's interesting. I'm seeing your brush as an extension of your brain sort of working out, so it's lovely. Will you be responding to the background, which I think works rather well with...
I'm hoping to respond to the background to actually try to bring the face a bit forward so you can get some depth into the image. Don has a really quite an intense look, so that kind of influence, I really want to capture that stare.
And it's doing what you want to do at the moment?
At the moment, yes, yes. Yeah, at the moment it is.
No matter how well they feel their own paintings are going, today they will have to stand out against the work of 8 other artists.
My best case scenario is if everyone really messes up their paintings and does really badly, and then I can win. No, not really.
I had a quick look around. It's quite intimidating, seeing what everyone is doing, and I really try not to let it get into my head too much.
My tutor is just...
Your tutor?
Yes.
Is one of the painters?
Yeah, he's
Sam's your tutor?
Yes.
Ah.
So he's taught me a lot of good stuff. So
what happens if you get through and he doesn't?
I might get a black eye or something.
Oh, really? Does he get violent?
I've not seen him like that, but let's say yes.
OK, great. Now I've got that to worry about for the rest of the day. The artists have just half an hour left to finish their portraits.
I feel like I should have stopped an hour ago, but I changed the way I worked to fit it and then kind of maybe overshot it a little bit. It's not a disaster, though, I don't think.
Now I'm looking at the eyes, nose and mouth. Just the tiny little touch here and there can make all the difference. My biggest concern is overdoing it now, messing up what I like about it, which is very easy to do.
I'm not happy with it. I think I need to work on a bit more detail with the side that I can't see. I'm struggling with that bit.
Our 9 artists are nearing the end of their 4-hour challenge painting Don Letts, Katie Piper and Robert Rinder.
I'm trying to finish off the tones. This is the bit that could make it or break it, so I'm trying to make it.
As always, I could do with quite a bit more time. I don't hate it, so that's good.
Just panicking. He's still got no shoulder, so I'm going to have to get some big brushes and get a little corner in.
You put on a stroke and then you lose it and then it comes back, and 30 seconds ago I would have been crying, but fortunately 2 marks made the difference.
Artists, you have 5 minutes left.
It's not finished. I can't really do anything now to make it significantly better. I might as well stop.
Artists, your time is up. Please put down your equipment and step away from your easels. It's time for the sitters to see their portraits and to choose which one they're going to take home. Robert, you came, you sat, you conquered.
I'm genuinely nervous.
Oh, well, I think they are as well.
Oh, yes, sorry, I forgot it was about you. Sorry.
OK, could you please turn your easels? A trio of Rinders.
Gosh, they're all so extraordinary. All captured something so different.
Closer look?
Yeah. I love how you've captured the background as well as just me. There's a delight in how you put the paint on. The vigour of the brush strokes, there's a real energy behind it too, which I really think is impressive. Philip, this is so lovely. It genuinely makes me smile. It's joyful. You obviously saw right through me. Thank you for finding something kind in me.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
Thank you.
And Yasmin?
It has a strength to it, which I didn't know I had. Almost an iconic quality. It's like an homage to my egomania.
Right, Robert, this is the moment when 3 become 1.
I know. I'm torn. Intuitively, I want to choose the joy and delight in this one and the form in yours. But I think I'm going to choose Vicky's because of the overall composition.
Thank you.
Katie,
Hello.
have you enjoyed the day?
I have, yeah. I mean, it's been quite a build-up to this point.
Right.
So I do actually feel slightly on edge about seeing the results.
Well, artists, can you please turn your easels?
Wow. It's 3 very different pictures.
Very different pictures.
This one feels very real. I feel quite drawn to it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So this one's really cool. The eyes feel quite expressive. I recognise them as my eyes, you know, so I feel a familiarity when I look at it.
Nick?
I think because it's darker, it almost feels like a different side to my personality.
Well, you have a decision to make, Katie.
I know, it's very difficult, but I think I have to go with my gut and my original choice when they were first unveiled, and that would be Chris.
Thank you very much. Artists, please turn your easels.
Oh, man. Why aren't a couple of them rubbish? Damn. That feels like me. He's gone 6 inches beneath my skin, so that's interesting. Brilliant. I love the way it's kind of soft focus, and not because I think I'm ugly, but there's something impressionistic about it. That's a different Don as well. They seem to have all got beneath my skin, which I really appreciate. Oh.
Right, Don, come on. We have to make a decision.
I'm stuck for words, which is a rare thing. This is going to be difficult.
Well, I'm Kofi.
Nice one, Kofi. Actually, I've changed my mind. I haven't got enough wall space. This one's smaller.
As the artists take a breath, the judges review their finished pieces.
I think Nick made some really nice choices, and the colours are gorgeous there.
I quite like the tightness in Sarah's.
It's got something rather spiritual about it in a very strange way. Am I? Yes, OK, neither of you agree.
I know what you mean.
I get that. Chris, on the other hand, found that interior-exterior sense of peace and calm. And it's partly to do with that distant gaze.
I must say I was worried about Yasmin's portrait of Robert, but his weight is there for a reason, and I think it's come off beautifully.
Dilip's given us something incredibly joyful, and he tackled the teeth. And do you know what? I think he hasn't done a bad job with the teeth.
Yeah, they're great. I really like Vicky's approach. The background isn't a sort of secondary component. It's actually a prime piece of storytelling to her.
I think today Michelle found a sort of lightness in Don, but then she counteracted it with this sort of resting pose on his hand and this wicked glance.
Sam's portrait of Don, I find it's lost a bit of the presence it had earlier on.
But it is a really gorgeous thing to look at.
Kofi's caught a very complex man there. There's a lot to be read into this face.
Now the judges must narrow down 9 artists to 3.
Judging by these 4, it's been a very good day.
I feel really strongly that we need these 2.
So if we do this, does that...
OK.
This is getting stronger and stronger, this one on the end.
It's starting to knock this one out.
That looks like a strong combination.
Super good. Those
Very
three.
good day. It's hard to find a winner from that 3, but it's a really good top 3.
Artists, thank you for all your hard work and enthusiasm. After careful consideration, the judges have come to a short list of 3. The first artist is Michelle Goldman. The second artist is Kofi Ferris. And the third artist to be shortlisted is Chris Lombridge.
It's 3 amazing artists. What a great experience watching them create those things, and it was great to be part of that.
To help choose a winner, the judges look at today's paintings alongside the original submissions. Well, judges, I've really enjoyed today, and what a shortlist.
Can't they all win?
Yeah,
it's that kind of day, isn't
It's
it?
that kind of day that actually any one of these is winning material.
So Michelle's self-portrait had a great sense of narrative. What impressed you today about her portrait of Don?
There's a softness to it, and at the same time, there's a kind of hardness in his eyes.
Yeah, and I think Michelle's portrait of Don also resonates with her self-portrait in that you've got these blocks of colour that she's still using. And I just love that side eye.
Chris?
There's a depth to her personality here, which is caught. Her face contains many, many emotions, and it makes it an interesting thing to look at.
And I'm really pleased, actually, that we've seen a difference in technique. And I think that textured chalkiness works better with the sentiments behind, you know, who Katie is.
I'm so drawn to both of Kofi's paintings.
I was looking at his self-portrait, and there's a certain colour combination. It's very unusual. And I was thinking, how is he going to do this with Don? But he reduced it, and he reduced it in the right way, and he introduced the right colour to the hat, and he didn't put the blue in the background. So he's making some very sophisticated choices.
What a difficult choice you have today.
Ooh, tough.
I suppose it's like we have to decide who can we not resist one more painting from.
Michelle, Chris and Kofi, you have all done so well today. But as you know, there is only one place in the semi-final. The artists that the judges have selected remained true to their distinctive style, whilst creating a complex and powerful portrait. That artist is Kofi Ferris.
I was very surprised I've got through. I really like Michelle's piece. I like the way she handled the hands and the colour tones in her piece. I feel pretty good here.
It was amazing to be shortlisted. It was a really nice touch to the end of the day, and I'm really pleased for Kofi to go through. He really deserved it.
Well, obviously I'm gutted not to be going any further, but I can't say I'm surprised. I did have a little sneaky look at Kofi's before. He was quite finished, and it was a great, great painting. And he's such a lovely guy who really cares about what he's doing.
Kofi's a really exciting artist, I think. We found someone really special today. He's got real maturity about him. It's not about just what he puts into work, it's also what he has the confidence to leave out. I think that Kate, Ty and I are going to be really excited to see what he does in the semi-final.
My daughter's coming to pick me up. She's going to be the first one to know. She will be very excited, and she's going to ring around, so she'll do that work, and I'll go home and sleep.